Testing mic, testing mic. We're on. We're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday live stream. Just want to make sure you guys can hear me and see me and all that good stuff. There we go. Hey, Linda, how's it going? All right, guys. I'm here again with none other than Johnny. John's been able to do some live streams with me for the last 3 weeks, which is a surprise.
Thanks for having me, Chris, again, sir.
No problem, dude.
Really happy to be here. Thrilled to be here.
I actually just saw you yesterday. You were...
Oh, yeah, I wanted to publicly apologize for all of the harm I caused to your house while trying to fix things.
We tried to fix everything, and what? We got one thing fixed.
We did get one thing fixed.
One thing was fixed. Is this
live.
a Tofurky helpline?
This is a live Q&A with 225-year-old vegans.
Oh my God, we're so old. I forgot about that. Yeah, so I see that a bunch of you were just on the premiere of my latest video that just premiered less than an hour ago. And that was a special video because it was a video that I filmed with John here 9 years ago, back in 2012.
Wow. Long time.
I never posted it. And I forget exactly why I never posted it. I think there was just something about it I just didn't like. And I'm like, let's just scrap this video. And I did that with a few videos. So there might be some more coming up. Old videos with us back in 2012 when our channel was pretty much only around for a few years at that point. And he was just a little pup.
Oh my gosh, his little ears were poking out above the table the whole time. It was really funny.
The way he looked at the camera and it was like, what?
Oh, he's a guy. He's just a little guy.
Yeah, and we had the bloopers at the end like we used to do. You know, you got to put those bloops in there somewhere.
You need them.
That was a fun video. It's linked if you guys haven't seen it. It's linked in the description of this video. And I also just posted it right there. I'll just go ahead and I'll pin it to the top. So afterwards, if you didn't see it, go check that out. If you have any nostalgia for the old Vegan Zombie videos, go check that out. I know John's probably really tired. You're always...
Sorry, I don't mean to be... It's like,
no,
it's not that I'm not very happy to be here. It's just got a lot going
on. Were you working all day today at the farm?
Yeah. We got a couple more days left with the tractor, and I'm driving to Syracuse tomorrow for...
on a tractor?
On a tractor, believe it or not. No,
wow.
In a Jeep, actually. Bringing all the dogs with us.
Wow.
And we're gonna eat vegan Thanksgiving at my brother's house. Well,
tomorrow.
Kristen and I are gonna eat vegan Thanksgiving.
I forgot about that.
Well, what are you doing tomorrow?
Gonna be eating vegan Thanksgiving at a couple different places.
Traveling.
Well, a little bit, and also Chancey said he might be coming out here to help fix up that part of the outside.
Dude,
he said it would only take him a few minutes to do.
I'm sure it would. Yeah. Can you get a video of it so I know how to do it if I ever have to do it again?
Yeah, he said that there's different siding and stuff that even if it is what is it, aluminum, vinyl. He said there's different types and stuff, so even if we think we know what it is, it might not be that actual one. So it kind of did look a little bit too short when you were trying to snap it in there.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully he can get it, because it sucked. You know, you drive all the way out there and you're like, this time I'm not gonna let Chris down. We're gonna get all this stuff done. And I'm like, well, all right, let's scrap this one. I'll fix this back at the house, and let's go to the next thing. Oh no, all right, we can't do that one. All right, let's go to the next thing.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. What do you remember about that day when we filmed that video, the bread? So that was my recipe. I was making that bread, but I feel like the way I told people how to do it wasn't like, I don't know, a professional baker's way to do it. And that's why I think I never wanted to upload it. But hey, it works, you know? I think I heated my oven to a good 500 degrees, put it in there for about 10 minutes, and then turned the oven off and just let it bake. I think the reason was we left. Didn't you say we went to Strong Hearts?
Yeah, we got milkshakes. We had to leave in a hurry, and that's the recipe I just think that you didn't. It's not really what you intended.
Right.
So,
But it
but
still came
it
out.
came out really good. So why the
Yeah.
hell? Why the heck
Yeah.
not?
It was, pretzel bread, and why not? We're just gonna call it zombie apocalypse bread, because it's easy bread to make in a zombie apocalypse.
There was fluffy too. It was a good. That was a
It
good
was. It was
recipe.
good bread. Good bread. It's a good car.
It's a real
It's a
good
good
bread.
car.
It's a shifter bread.
Shifter bread. I drive cars that shift themselves. Well, there was just something at the tip of my temporal cortex, and I forgot now.
Oh.
But yeah, Andy was such a young lad in that video.
Oh my gosh, so cute. He's an old man now, dude.
Yeah, he is. He really is. He's right next to me right now. I
Oh,
just fed them. They got some sweet potatoes, some V-Dog.
nice.
What else was I was just gonna say something about back then.
The
Back then, making those
2012. So, uh, hey, you can I tell you something, Chris?
Yeah, tell me something,
I
John.
want to show it to you too. It's
Okay.
oh, hang on, I just pulled out my headphones so I can't hear anything.
Oh, okay. You can't hear me.
So
Right
this thing right here, speaking of 2012,
now. Okay.
when we were moving out of that apartment, I was in the attic. I put a bunch of stuff up in the attic, and as I was packing up to leave that house at the end of that chapter, I came across this thing right here,
Okay.
filled with things. Do you want to
Filled with
see?
things.
You want to see
Yeah.
some of the things?
Let's
I'll
see
show you some of the
things.
things.
Let's see. I want to see some of the things.
I have no idea whose it is, but I didn't want it to like stay up in somebody's attic forever. So I've been bringing it from one house to the next.
One house to the next.
One house. Hopefully, there's nothing inappropriate in here. But oh, look at this! A drawing.
Did you draw that?
No, I don't. A stranger did.
Oh,
This
stranger
is a
danger.
stranger's drawing, and this whole thing's filled with drawings.
Oh, you know what? If you want to wait 1 second, I'll be right back too, because I have a painting that I wanted to talk about.
Oh, bring the painting.
Okay, just count to 10, and I'll be right back.
All right, I'll show.
I have to go
I'm,
downstairs real quick. So
yeah,
just-
you go downstairs. I'll show
I
stuff.
will. You just keep showing things.
This is the thing, and there's something attached to it. Oh, age 15, grade 10. I'm not going to say the person's name, but well, that's pretty good, dude. I couldn't do that. Come on. Let's go to the next one. Somebody else's art. I should contact them and be like, I have your long lost art projects.
All the way back to.
Oh, look at this. Chris, we're on a farm.
Grain towers and telephone
Yep.
poles.
Chris Simpson drew this.
Yeah.
So,
Wait a minute. Go back to that. Is that your place? It looks like your backyard.
the backyard of
Yeah.
here? No, I don't know where this is, man.
Okay, it's probably right
don't-
down the road from you.
Let's see, I thought there was more smaller things in here instead of all these big giant. Did you ever take art classes in high school?
I did. I was, yeah.
I was very bad at it.
I was really good at it, and I have a weird thing about me. When everybody told me I was really good at something, I wanted to stop doing it. So they said how good I was at art, so I just stopped doing it.
So then you started skateboarding instead.
I did.
Because people didn't like skateboarding, and you're a bit of a badass. You can't be controlled or contained. Enjoy this
Rage
picture.
Against the. What is that?
That is a tree, and that's a grave site, a tombstone down there.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very interesting because I'll show you my painting in a second.
All right, let me.
Clear my throat. What I was gonna. Oh yeah, I'm actually in that video that we posted at the very end, at the bloopers at the end. You can see me, and I have short hair.
Oh yeah, you got
That's
that
how long
short
ago
hair.
it was.
All right, yeah. So this is just a bunch of. This is somebody's drawings from high school. I wonder if they're still alive.
Let's see.
I'll Google their name.
Are there dates on them?
Let me see. What's this, dude? Oh, this is like a bunch of
Charcoal
like,
pens?
yeah, yeah.
It's hard to see that.
Yeah, that was
So where did you find that? Like in the basement?
attic. It was in the attic of that.
Attic.
Yeah.
I found my painting in the basement of this house.
Let's see if there's anything. These are all. Most of these are just there was like newspaper clippings and stuff too, but I guess that's not. That must have fallen out. Pretty cool though, huh, Grant?
Pretty cool, dude.
All right,
Cool.
that's all I'm gonna offer. Show me yours now. Now you show me
Okay.
yours.
So my dad.
1968.
Ooh, that was before I was born.
This was drawn in 1968 by a 10th grader.
Whoa. That person's got to be like
50.
111. 111.
Today is my 111th birthday. All right, now you go.
Oh, okay. So my dad has always been like into art since he was a little kid, and obviously before I was born, and he always would paint things as I was growing up, and he just recently started painting again. Like he's going to these classes with like the veterans where he paints or something, and
That's cool.
yeah, it keeps him busy. So he started painting something, and I told him a while back, like, oh, I would like this or something. And I went to my parents' house the other day, and my dad was sleeping, my mom was awake, and I immediately went to the wall because I saw a painting that was brand new on the wall that I hadn't seen before. I go, oh, what's this? And she's like, oh, Dad did it. I'm like, when did he do this? She's like, I don't know, a couple years ago. I'm like, really? Why have I never seen it? And she's like, I don't know. So then I sat down on the couch, and then a little while later, my dad gets up, and he comes out of his bedroom, and he sees me. He doesn't say anything, and he walks right over to that painting, and he starts taking it off the wall. And then my mom says, Tom, he already saw it. You know, like, you know how she does. Tom,
Yeah,
he already saw it. He already saw it. And my dad doesn't say anything. He just walks over, and he's like, I painted this for my son, and he gives it to me. And it's like I told him, I go, oh, it'd be cool to make like a nice moon with a creepy sky and a cemetery, and he did it. Look at that.
Whoa, that's so cool.
Yeah, he painted this for me. So
I can't believe your dad did that, and he's 105.
I know, and he called it he names them all. He likes to get creative. He's always been like that. He called it the Lunar Requiem by my dad, October 2021, and it says for Christopher. For Christopher. So I'm gonna hang that up in my new house when I get there.
He's such a talented guy, though, for real.
Yeah, he is. So that's all I got, and we'll talk to you later.
My dad never drew me anything. So.
Well, but he did make you some awesome vegan crescent rolls.
Rob's Rolls. That's right.
Rob's Rolls. I remember. That's what I remember. Your dad always making like big garbage bags full of those. Rob's
He was
Rolls.
so excited when I got married to make the
rolls?
garlic pizza.
Ooh.
He used to, before I went vegan, like 2 years before I went vegan, we used to have pizza night all the time. And he would make this garlic pizza that was just amazing. It was just a big white pizza, and it didn't have any sauce on it or anything, but it was so good. And he made a vegan version for our wedding.
That's awesome.
Good
I was
story.
there. I was at your reception.
I remember. Do you have any video of that?
I do.
Okay.
Yep. You know, I have video of so many people's weddings that have never seen. Like, I got both of my brothers, I got my sisters. They've never seen any of the footage. So someday I'm gonna, and my one brother's, you're in it singing.
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
I
told that story. Remember, my brother's like, because I'm in his wedding too, and you guys were singing The Cure. And even my brother in his own wedding was playing a guitar singing. And the doors were going to open. And so Mike was filming this part. and the doors were about to open, and my brother's. I'm like, what do I do? He's like, I don't know. Just when you get out there, start dancing. I'm like, I don't dance. He goes, if you don't get out there and dance, I'm like, Brian, I don't dance. And then the doors open, and I'm like, trying to dance. It's so awkward. It's all on video. I got the video from Mike.
If I didn't have to sing, if I could have played any instrument or anything, it would just. It's like
you sounded good though. You were good.
Thanks. Yeah. But I just feel like, it's like Brian's wedding. I'm like, oh my God, all of his whole family's here, and I'm just the a-hole up there singing a Kira song. Just like in our we had a talent show in 8th grade, and we played the Cure there too.
What song did you play there?
Just Like Heaven.
Yeah.
That was the first Cure song I ever learned, actually. Guess who else was playing in that? Dan Kerrigan. He played guitar.
I don't play guitar anymore, but when I was learning, the first song I ever learned on the guitar was The Cure. There was 2 songs. I learned 3 Imaginary Boys. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, and then I learned Boys Don't Cry. And then I tried some other ones like I tried a bunch of other ones, but those were the 2 that I would be like, yeah, Boys Don't Cry,
How old were you when you tried playing guitar or started playing guitar?
I was a teenager. I was probably like 16 or 17, maybe 14 or 15, somewhere around.
I was gonna say because Brian.
I taught Brian, and then
he got
now
good.
He's like the master. He's really good. He's got a music degree, music theory.
Yeah, he does. I was his roommate in college. So we have a lot of good funny stories together.
Oh, and before I forget that back to this painting, I actually recorded. I always have my videos going. I recorded my dad giving that to me. I don't know if he realized he was being recorded, but I'm gonna probably upload that to TikTok. So if anybody follows me over on TikTok, it's the Vegan Zombie. TikToking. Do you do TikTok?
I tried to do the TikTok once, but I'm very bad with the social media.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'll do it later, and then at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm too tired. I'll do it tomorrow. And then 4 years go by.
I'll be honest, lately, I've been bad with the social media sometimes. I feel like it's never happened. I mean, it's happened. I felt this way, but I've been pretty consistent with the Vegan Zombie content for the entirety of our run. But this last few weeks have been like, I don't know. It's just, the only thing I've done is the live streams we've done, and like, I'm just waiting to get in the new house so I can do more videos. And it's just, I don't know. I've had just a total lack of motivation to do anything, and I don't know. So hopefully you guys like the video I just put together.
Yeah, I thought it was great, if I might say so myself. I really like the host of the show.
Yeah, I know he was really good. Kind of a jerk, but
definitely a jerk. Not kind of like. You put him past midnight. You saw what almost happened. I was so mad that it was 12.
You were ready to flip out, but it must have been right after daylight savings time, and I didn't.
Yeah.
You're like, is it 12? Oh, it's only an hour. Okay, I almost flipped out. I almost tipped over your microwave, tipped over the island.
Because I had to work. I had to work. It must be at 7 the next morning.
Is John straight edge? No, John's not straight edge. I think you were when I met you, though, right?
Yeah.
At one point.
Not when you met me, but I was
when you first started hanging out with me, right?
Yes, I was when we first started hanging out.
Yeah.
And then I just I didn't want to not do drugs anymore.
You didn't want to not.
I don't do drugs. That was a very poor choice of word. Yeah.
Was I with you when you first did that, right? In DC.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yes,
that was
you were. Yes, you were. And then that following weekend, it was Valentine's Day. I don't know if it was the following weekend, but it was like that same month. And I had a little party, like an anti-Valentine's Day party, because I was going through a breakup.
We're gonna have an anti. What does that consist of?
Listen, all I remember is I remember sitting in the bathtub with the shower running, and there were a lot of people in the room, and I was completely naked, but I must have had too much to drink. It was a very
good thing we didn't have nobody videotaped that. That'd be like a not very friendly Vegan Zombie moment.
Yeah, Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Anyway, this is not the drug show. This is the vegan show. Let's not talk drugs. Chris, you don't know anything about them.
I don't.
I mean,
Actually, I don't
you
know
might know a
anything
lot
about.
about them.
I do know a lot about him because like I learned about him and I don't forget things. But at the same time, and I was very curious about him because like even though I don't want to do him, like I think a lot of people, not every, because some people have never drank before, but so I'm one of those people. I've never had alcohol, and but I'm always like asking people. I'm like, I don't want to do it, but like, can you explain it to me? Like, what does it feel like to be inebriated? What is the feeling like? I can't fathom it. I don't know. And they're like, well, you get a buzz. I'm like, what is a buzz?
Well,
I
how
don't know.
for science, why don't we hang out?
And
We'll
just,
get a couple of cocktails in me and we'll just study the effects of alcohol on John Ted.
well, you know what? This didn't really work out. And then my friends didn't want to hang out with me anymore. But when I was young, probably 13, 14, so a bunch of my friends that I was hanging out with, like they started doing drugs. And obviously there's something about me. I just never gave in to peer pressure, so I never wanted to do it. But I still wanted to hang out with my friends, and they were experimenting with acid, and I'm like asking them all these questions. I'm like, so what do you see? And they're like, get out of here, man. You're ruining our trip. And I'm like, I just want to know what you're seeing. Like, do you see like something scary? And like, so I was just like, it ended up being, unfortunately, a lot of my friends, and I wasn't like a jerk, and I didn't like
No, you were really cool no matter
I
what.
didn't
Like
care
back,
what
yeah.
they did. Like
You just didn't want to do it.
I
That's
just did
all.
me. Like so but unfortunately a lot of my friends didn't want to hang out with me because I was the one that wouldn't do anything. Like I was the one that if they started, smoking up or something, I'd leave the room or, like but I would never do anything. And eventually they just didn't want to hang out with me and it kind of made me feel bad, sometimes, they'd be like they would make plans and do something and like just lie to me and said they weren't going to do anything and then they would and I'd be like
There's
uh
there's there was one time I was at your house and your dad lit up. He was smoking a cigarette, and I just remember your conversation. It wasn't even a conversation. It was just you were in the kitchen. He was over like by the computer in the corner in like the dining room area,
yeah.
and he was smoking. And you just all you said was cigarettes smell. You just turned around and walked away. And I just quote that all the time. Even if
Cigarettes
no one's
smell.
smoking around, I'm just like cigarettes smell.
Cigarettes smell.
And then you just turned around and walked away.
So yeah, things were different when I was born in the 70s, grew up in the 80s. And back then, there was ashtrays everywhere. There was freaking ashtrays in like every seat of the back of your car and stuff like that. And, my dad smoked. And he's always been a smoker. So he'd smoke in the car. And I always hated the smell of smoke. And as I got older, I'd always just be like, can you not smoke? Especially when I was going to school on a cold day, it just sticks on your clothes. I'm like, now I smell like smoke and I don't even smoke. And
Yeah.
I'd get so mad. And like, after a while, finally, even though it's his house, he doesn't smoke in the house anymore, which is, that's good. He goes outside when he smokes and stuff. But like, yeah, like,
My mom did the same thing. It was like they would like I'd sit in the back of the car and my mom and my grandma would be driving or my grandma would be driving. We'd be on our way to do you remember Perkins?
yeah,
Perkins, the
Perkins and
breakfast
Ponderosa.
place?
Yep.
Oh man, dude, I used to love going to Perkins for dinner. Breakfast for dinner was the best. But they would smoke on the way, and I like make me so sick to my stomach I wouldn't even want the pancakes. It's
When
like
you smell the smoke, it's like something like
roll the window down, you jerks.
when you're not a smoker, it's something, it smells so bad. And like, especially if it's a cold day and you walk through any of the smoke, it's on your
It's on
clothes.
you. It's on you like
And it smells
the
so
last son
bad.
of Mississippi tree hog.
Um,
A tree hog. You ever hear of a tree hog, Chris?
a tree hug. What's the longest? Produce wants to know what's the longest I've ever been awake for. Um, like 30 some hours, I think it was. And yeah, the worst thing is when you're that tired. I think, well, there's a couple of them. One of them was just playing, an online game, which was ridiculous. And then the other one was
That's awesome.
I drove home from Florida nonstop. And when I got home, I parked my car in the garage and I got in my bed and I said, I never want to drive again and I just want to sleep for a week.
Did you sleep for a week?
I did sleep for like 15 hours or something like that, and then I
Nice.
was like, oh my god, it feels so good. Uh,
Yeah, that's tough.
when you're that tired, I've been in weird situations too. I mean, I've only done this once, but I have a whole story of it on my channel. But when I was 18, after I graduated high school, I went hitchhiking with a couple friends. And I was in one of the, I think, either Virginia or Carolinas. And our thing was like, if we get picked up by somebody, we're going to take turns, whoever's sitting in the front, because we don't know if somebody's going to try to kill us or attack us or whatever. And it was my turn to sit in the front with this guy that probably looked like I look now, long hair, beard, you know, broken down station wagon kind of thing, started up with a screwdriver. And and this was a hot summer day in August, and he told us when we got in there, because that maybe you know about this more than I do. I don't really know mechanics or cars that much, but for some reason he said he had to have the heat blasted in order for the carburetor or the coolant or something to cool down the car. He couldn't turn it off,
Yeah, okay,
so the
because
windows were
his
open.
engine would overheat if
Right.
yeah.
So the heat's blowing in. I'm already so tired because we didn't get any sleep. And I get in the car and we start driving, and total stranger, and I just fall asleep right next to him. Just I'm like, I'm out, and I'm like, I didn't even care. I'm like, if somebody's gonna try to kill me, at least I'm gonna get some sleep, you know. And then I'll probably sleep forever.
What if you fell asleep and your mouth was open and it was like facing him and he's just like he was driving, right?
Yeah.
And so he's just driving and like every once in a while he just takes his right hand and he just like puts it in your mouth.
Stop it, dude. Stop. And then I like wake up and I'm like, did you just do that? And he's like,
No.
what?
And he's
No.
just like looking straight forward, like,
No.
oh hey. And then you fall back asleep and he does it again.
Leave it to John to be creepy over here. Well, Chancey was in the back seat, so
Yeah, I bet.
52 hours, that's crazy. That's like, I mean, not sleeping can kill you. You know,
Yeah.
when I don't sleep for a really long time, my heart starts beating really fast and I feel like I'm going to die. So then I need to get some sleep. Um I forget which one it was. I think it might have been The Two Towers, or maybe it was Return of the King. But anyway, I was so excited that me and a couple friends, I think Rob was one of them, Rob, and we
Sleepy
stayed
Rob.
up the whole night before, right before the premiere was coming out. We stayed up the whole night before, and we're like, we're staying up all night, and then we're going there, and we're gonna get in there, we're gonna get our tickets, we're gonna watch Return of the King or whatever Lord of the Rings it was. We get in there, and I'm like, yeah, this is awesome, Lord of the Rings, yeah. 10 minutes in. And it wasn't because I was bored. I was just so tired. I wake up, I'm
That's
like, what did I miss?
every movie for me is that. Anytime I go to the movies, I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Yep. I've done it a bunch of times. I'm like, why am I paying to go to a movie and I'm sleeping?
Yeah,
You're so comfortable and you're so tired and you're like, oh my God, I'm so comfortable and tired.
I definitely when Rogue One came out, the Star Wars movie,
Yep. Yep.
I did not fall asleep when that came out because that was I really liked that movie. I totally cried when they showed Princess Leia though.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that really tore
Oh.
my nostalgia bone.
They ruined my nostalgia with when they
Yeah,
did what they
yeah.
did.
I feel you on that. I feel you.
I kind of wish I never saw any of the new ones. I should have just saw the original three and just said, I throw in my
I'm
towel.
happy.
But
I'm
then I
happy
never
with.
would have had that conversation with you about the Darth Maul and
Yeah, so like
Qui Gon.
the '90s reboot was kind of cool. At least episode one was like just the Darth Maul part, but like I was definitely bummed out with the casting of that. I could have done a way better Anakin, if I'm being honest.
Poor Anakin. Look what happened.
Yeah, yeah, all because of the terrible acting. Turned into Darth Vader. Oh,
Yeah.
spoiler! I'm sorry.
Oh
Sorry,
man.
you guys. Han Solo
That's
dies.
Sebulba.
Sebulba! Annie. All right.
Mel, you've been up since 3 a.m. That's a long time to be up.
It is a long time to be up.
You have legalized freedom. Has heated seats in the movie theater. That would make me go to sleep
Yeah.
probably, especially if it was like a cold winter day. I don't like things like I'd rather have something be cold where I can put bundle up and put on hoodies because I'm like wicked claustrophobic. So if something's too hot, I remember one time, this had to be, where was I even going? I don't know, but I was on a Greyhound bus coming home, and I can't for the life of me remember when it was. It was at least 15 or 20 years ago. Okay. So, no smartphones, I don't think, but when I was on. Anyway, it was a winter day. It was cold out, but the heat on the bus was broken in the sense that it had to be on full blast or not at all. So it was on full blast, and I was so claustrophobic and just so hot, and I wanted to like put the window down and breathe. And then when I think we stopped in Albany at one of the stops, and a lot of us just complained. And then the bus driver said, "Okay, the heat's broken, so it's either going to be blasting or it's not going to be on at all, and we're going to be really cold." And everybody's like, "Don't turn it on at all." And I'm like, "Yes." And we just bundled up, and I'd rather it be like that for me. So my house is normally pretty cold, and I just have a hoodie on rather than being nice and hot, wasting all that electricity and being hot. And in the new house, there's a fireplace.
Ooh,
So I'm going to be a
nice.
lumberjack. I'm going to be cutting wood and doing, having fires and
Amityville Horror.
yeah. I'll get the Ryan Reynolds look going.
You
I
you know
gotta cut the hair, though.
you
I
were
gotta
rocking
cut
Ryan
the.
Reynolds for a minute. Back
That was
actually,
in the video that we
yeah,
just posted.
yeah,
I had
yeah.
that hair, but now I got to cut the Jared Leto hair off and then become when I'm about to become. What's that from?
I don't
And then
know.
I became what I was about to be. Wait, hold on. And then I became. Oh, Interview with the Vampire.
Oh,
I said goodbye to the sun. Da, 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 da.
Chris, can I ask you? Can we talk about what you're gonna eat tomorrow? Do you know what you're gonna eat?
Um, I don't really know because I'm not really making anything. The other people that the houses I'm going to, I don't know. My brother probably has some different roasts and stuff. I do have a tofurkey ham,
Are you going to Brian's?
Pat's.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Did it? It used to be Brian's, or do you
Well,
guys
yeah,
change?
but for the first time ever, my mom decided she's not doing it at her house. So I'm like, "Mom, it's like it's not the same if we're not here." I'm like, "You better not do this on Christmas." Because to me, it's like it comes from like a nostalgic place.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
You want to be doing what you've been
yeah.
doing since you were a kid.
And
Yeah.
we had an all vegan one a couple years ago at my brother's. But anyway, so Brian did ask me, but he asked me too late. He said it. Pat asked me first.
Oh, so Brian's having one, Pat's having one.
Brian's not really having one, but he said that like they're not really doing much, but I could come over.
Oh, okay.
So
So you're gonna go to Pat's. Tell him I
yes,
said hi.
yep.
I've been thinking about him. I've been
I've
thinking
been
about
thinking about you.
you.
We both at the same time.
I've been thinking about Brian too. Don't get me wrong. I think about
Man.
all the brothers Cooney.
Do you know Brian's? Do you know Brian's big news right now?
No,
Oh, you don't?
no.
I can't tell the whole public, but
Oh, okay.
he's
Message it to me and I'll read it out
wait.
loud.
Just get your ear up to the.
Oh,
You
okay.
guys, everybody, close your ears real quick.
Okay.
He's having another kid.
Oh,
Yeah,
three of them.
yeah. That's what
That's
I
a
said.
that's a whole family.
I know.
I don't even want one.
You know that it. Yeah, it's like
But here's the thing. You're not having any, so Pat and Brian, they got to
they
work
gotta
extra
have
hard.
all mine.
I got five brothers. They've been pooping out kids, not them personally, but their
I'm a
wives.
godfather.
I'm a godfather. Exactly.
I'm like a Corleone, but
I've been an uncle since I was 5. I have like 19 nieces and nephews.
Oh,
But
Matt just wants to know if you can quote any movies, and yes, you definitely can. We both can.
That's probably all I do is quote movies.
Quote
I
movies.
just quote different ones than Chris does.
You do. Yeah, you totally do. Like you quote ones that I have no idea what you're quoting. Maybe I've seen them, but I just didn't like get the same out of it. Like if I really love a movie, I'll quote it, but if you probably like other movies. But
Yeah.
you also tell me if I'm wrong. You quote TV series more than you quote movies.
Yes.
Yes. Mainly
I
like
do.
The Office or Sunny or
Yeah, I either quote like mostly it's always Sunny because I feel like their level of comedy is what I would do if I were to have a show. Like just really ridiculous like settings and stuff.
Oh, um, yeah, yeah. I mean, maybe we should make a YouTube channel together or something
We should
someday.
make a YouTube channel about
We sh-
a chef.
Maybe it could be vegan. Maybe there could be some comedy in it. Maybe we
We
could
should
have an
make a
element.
non-vegan channel.
What with what? Where we just like talk about space rocks, where it has no element of vegan but no anti-vegan.
Yeah, we
Space
should.
rocks. We could wear
I don't
space
know.
pants.
We should just the John and Chris show. The John and Chris extravaganza.
On the John and Chris show. So quote a movie. Quote a movie. What movie do you normally quote the most? Do you know?
I for some reason I quote Dumb and Dumber a lot.
Yeah.
I
Like,
quote
tell me some quotes from Dumb and Dumber. Dumb and Dumber.
um just whenever I tell a story or I start to tell a story that's kind of boring
Yeah.
and I know it, I just say right afterwards, no, and I don't care.
So do a quote and don't tell me what the movie is from, and we'll see if we can guess it. Do a different movie than Dumb and Dumber, though.
All right. That's tough, man. Let's see.
Wait, did I?
What?
I'm just putting it on live chat so I can not miss anybody's chat.
Oh yeah, instead of top chat,
Top chat.
top chat, live chat. Okay, so I'll quote something that you Royal Blue.
Royal Blue.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
Yeah, it's I quote the movie Liar Liar a lot too for some
Oh,
reason. It's really funny to me.
Royal Blue. Okay. So you
Yeah,
got you got like a lot of goofy like Jim Carrey stuff.
yeah.
Isn't Wait, can I guess your favorite movie? I might be wrong, but I thought I heard you say one day your favorite movie.
Yeah, you can guess it.
Is that Eternal Sunshine?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
I like the soundtrack to it and the what cinematography, I guess.
Okay.
Is that the right word? Right verbiage?
That's how it's filmed. That's how it looked. The look of it. The
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I believe just the style of that, and I don't know the producer's name, but there are other movies that he did that Kristen and I checked out, and we're like, there's just something about his style that is it just it does something. But the premise of the movie is really cool too. Why it really struck a chord with me is like, you want me to tell you? Like, am I talking too much about it?
No, go ahead. Yeah.
What I really liked about that movie is the dynamics of a relationship. Like when you
Right.
first meet somebody, you see all of these amazing things, and
And then you
and then at
realize.
the end of it, it's all dull, and you're kind of sick of that person, and it's washed over. And what was really cool about that movie is it started at the reverse, so you saw them not necessarily like it kind of breaks up the continuity or the timeline, but for the most part you see it work in reverse from when it was bad to all of a sudden it was deleting good memories, and he's like, no, let me hold on to this. And it was like it really that movie profoundly made me respect all of my relationships, and not just the like you think about your old relationships, you're like, oh man, we fought all the time, we didn't get along, but there were really cool moments of connection and growth that changed you as a person, that like if you were to delete or get rid of, you wouldn't even be the same person. And even if you did delete them, they still ended up like wanting to meet and do it all over again. So it's just a lot of different aspects of that movie that really struck a chord. And one of my favorite albums ever written. A lot of the concepts and the lyrics are based on that movie as well. So
Is that the
that's
is it
the
Thrice?
no, that's the Circus Survive album.
Oh.
Charma. Really like that movie a lot.
Did you real I didn't
Or
know this
that
at the
album.
time, but did you know that the shoes that Macbeth gave us were Circus Survive?
No, I didn't know that.
Because I have them downstairs.
That's funny. That's
Yeah.
weird. Small world.
Yeah. I just saw that the other day when I was like packing stuff up to move. Um,
What's up, Steve? Your cholesterol.
you're,
Dead man walking.
Yeah, you do a lot of Lord of the Ring quotes.
Yes. I'll do like I'll do sci-fi quotes. I don't know. It's hard. I should write down every time I quote something and just read them to you. Be like, here are the quotes that I quoted today. I mostly hang out by myself, but I still quote movies just to make myself laugh.
Yeah, I have a weird memory. So like if something just triggers something, I'll quote something. I'll be like, well, I just quoted a movie that I haven't seen in for like it could just be a rare movie or something, and I'll be like, nobody knows what I'm talking about. Um, or in other times I'll quote like my favorite movies, like Alligators in the Sewers or something. But mostly just randoms. Because if somebody tells me to quote a movie or something,
Yeah, I get put on the spot. I'm like,
yeah,
oh,
and I'm like, oh,
there's so many movies going through my head. I don't even know
yeah,
which one to quote.
yeah,
I quote National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation a lot.
yeah.
Where you plan on putting a tree that big? Bend over and I'll show you.
Yeah.
I wasn't talking to you.
The floor is wet, Todd. Wait, is that what she
And
said?
why is the carpet wet, Todd?
Todd.
I don't know, Margot.
Do we ever quote song lyrics? Actually, we do to each other sometimes with some of the bands that we like that we
Yeah,
know that
or
we
like if
like.
I'll post something with a mineral lyric, you'll always finish it. Like
Yeah.
if I post something on Instagram.
Um. Actually, I'm always quoting. I'm always. I just remembered one that I did the other night with. Actually, right after my dad gave me this, I quoted one that I haven't even thought of, and like I said, my memory's weird. Like I'll quote something that I haven't thought of in over 25 years, and I did that exact thing the other night when he gave me that, and I said, will you sign that? You didn't sign it. He goes, oh, I'll sign it someday, and then I said, someday never comes, and that's a quote from a song. You guys, does anyone know that song? Someday never comes. It's something I don't even listen to the band hardly ever. I haven't in years and years and years, but it's John Fogerty of Creedence Clearwater Revival called "Someday Never Comes," and it's about his dad. I believe it's about his dad. But I said "Someday Never Comes," so he grabbed it and he signed it for me. Anyway, that's just an example of something that I remember quoting. But I'm always quoting songs. I think a lot of people do that, but we all know different songs, so
Yeah.
we all listen to different music. So
And
when you hear somebody that quotes something, you're like, oh, I know that,
we're friends now.
Or it's like when you're like going grocery shopping and you see somebody come in there and they grab something vegan, you're like, oh, should I talk to them? Should I talk to them? Like something happened at Wegmans. I was at Wegmans and they were looking at some vegan cheese, and I'm like looking, and they were looking at all the vegan cheese, and I'm like, they're going like this, and I'm like, get that one, get that one, no, don't get that one, don't get that one. And he pulled out. I'm like, should I say something? Don't get that one, don't get that one, don't get that one. I'm like, say something, say something. I'm giving up on you. And then they take it, they put it in their bag, and they walk away. And I'm looking around. I'm like, should I go up to them and say, take the other one? Now it's just gonna be weird because if I say it now, it's been too long. It's just gonna be awkward. I missed my chance. Just go
You
up and
follow
don't
him
do
home
it.
and be like, hey, you should have
Hey,
got the other one.
just why you should have got the other cheese. Because they got the Wegmans shreds and they suck.
I haven't even tried them, but they got such bad reviews that I'm like, I'm not even gonna go for it. I'd rather have no cheese. Oh, I thought of something I wanted to tell you, but I forgot. Dang it. Good
You
story.
think of it when I see. That's what happens. You think of it when I'm talking, and then you wait for me to get done talking. You forget it, and then when you're talking, the same thing happens to me.
Dang it.
Dang it! I hear a phrase that triggers a song lyric. Same here. If I hear a phrase, I'll finish into a song. You can
Sometimes I just break into and I do this. I used to do this all the time when we'd
over
cook.
to the other
Tina
side.
Turner.
Tina
We
Turner.
don't need another hero. We don't need another hero. And then it gets stuck in your head for the rest of the night.
Oh my God, Linda! Linda just said you should offer advice to people in the grocery store. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but I literally like yesterday was talking about I should be like a consultant. I should like, help people that, like I got a lot of free stuff on here, but maybe I should be a consultant that people that want one-on-one help with being vegan, I guess. I mean, I would consider us experts since we've been vegan almost most of our life. It's just something that we're really familiar with. It's just we don't have to think twice about.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, for sure.
yeah. I mean, we were both kids when we went vegan.
We were
Now we're
kids.
like old men.
We're old. Like I had no gray hair in that video you just posted. None. And now if this thing were a little fluffier, it'd be a
Oh,
whole
you're
lot
talking
full
about
of
your
gray.
beard?
Yeah. I had no hair at all. I remembered my story. It was about when I was in college. I saw this dude that had the same vegan sweatshirt. And normally I don't really
You
just go
told me. I
up.
remember.
I just don't go up to people and say anything to. But I went up to them like, "Hey, I have that same sweatshirt. That's so cool. It's awesome to see another vegan around here." The guy that I said hi to was Dan, who is one of the owners of Dunwell Donuts in New York City. And I remember he saved a chicken. He like stole a chicken from a layer, like a hatchery, and he had it in his like dorm room for some time. I forget if he brought it to Farm Sanctuary or not,
This
but
is at Ithaca College, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that story. And then we met him. Well, I met him when we went to New York City. You were there talking to him. I was
yeah.
with you one of the times we went there.
I do. I remember. I was like so nervous. I'm like, I wonder if he's gonna remember me. And this is like the vegan zombie was we were a thing at that point, but I just I didn't know if he'd ever heard of us or whatever. I go to the person at the counter. I go, hey, can you go tell Dan that John Ted from Ithaca is here and he just wanted to say hi. And she goes back you can hear him. He like yell talks. He goes, John Ted, you say? Send him in. It's funny. I went back there. I was like, hi.
John Ted, you say?
Cool story.
Um,
Chris, do you like me? Oh.
oh, do you remember we'd go to Ithaca and we get the Grand Slam Seitan sub?
Mm-hmm.
And that was literally like probably over 20 years ago for sure. It was in the 90s. Well, I don't think I started hanging out. I used to go there in the 90s and then
I actually didn't go to Shortstop until 2002 was my first time.
I did go with you a couple times, I believe, didn't I?
Yeah.
Okay. And
There was a place right down the street called Geppetto's. I used to bring in vegan Rella back in when we had band practice in Ithaca with Spiria. And the guy that took over Geppetto's, he would let you bring in a block of vegan Rella. He'd make us totally vegan pizza. It was awesome. We'd eat it at like 4 in the morning and then keep practicing.
I would buy like Vegenaise and bring it and spread that on my sub and all kinds of stuff.
Nice.
But what I was gonna say was I was like, wow, Ithaca is so 20 years ago they have these vegan options. So you would think in present day, 20 some years later, they'd have all kinds, but they went in reverse because that's no longer vegan anymore.
Yeah.
I was in there and they told me they're like, oh, the bread has honey in it. I'm like, are you kidding me? When did this happen? And then I went looking through because it's also like a mini supermarket, and Ithaca's like an over an hour drive. I really wanted it, so I walked around the store to see if they had any other bread there that they could put it on for me, and they didn't. So I was like, you got to be kidding! It's not even vegan. Like, why have all this seitan here when seitan is generally people that eat seitan are vegan or whatever? So why would you have something they can't even eat? Like that's just
blows my mind.
Yeah. And then I haven't been back to Taste of Thai in many, many years because I used to go there all the time with you, and then I'd go there, other times, and then I went there and it wasn't good, so I'm like, oh wow, that sucked. And then I gave it another try because it was like one of the best places. I went there again and I was like, ooh, it wasn't good again. And then the last time I went there was I think on one of your birthdays or something. I went there with you, and the third time it wasn't, and I haven't been back there in over 15 years.
Wow, that's such a bummer.
When's the last time you've been there? What did we get? I can't remember what it was.
I used to get ramen noodle. Yeah, it's a big flat noodle, big wide noodles with peanut sauce.
Yeah, but what was the meat that we got? Like the
seitan. Yeah, yeah.
You could get the seitan or tofu, right?
Yes, but the tofu they fried in the same stuff that they fry everything else in. So
okay, so that's why we stopped getting that, or that's why we never got that, and then.
But they recently within the last 5 years, they changed owners. Oh. So now it's really different. Like it's a different vibe and everything.
That's what happened with China Road.
I know that was such a bummer.
So China Road was like Yeah, China Roll was like a place around here that we used to go to 20 years ago, and it was one of the only places we could go there as a vegan. And the owner Simon, who I think he was friends or something with the people down at Vegetarian Paradise, Red Bamboo, at some point. So anyway, um, we would get like we would have like the vegan ham, orange chicken, beef, all this different vegan stuff 20 some years ago with scallion pancakes and all that stuff. And he actually knew us by coming in. He'd like go over and he'd be like, "Oh, here, give us the vegan menu," and we would know everything that was vegan there. And then, like I mean, they worked. It seemed like they worked their butts off. Like they were there every time we'd be in there, every single day of the week. And I think that's what they did. They worked every single day of their life up until they sold it, and then that was it. They sold it, and then the new owners were there for a little bit, and now it closed.
Yeah, now it's a what it's a seafood joint.
Is it?
Yeah. My grandma lived right my mom grew up right down the street from there. You remember my grandma's house? You've been there?
I don't think so.
You have been there before because
My brother lived right there too.
he doesn't live there any longer across the street.
No, he lives in Beeville.
He does?
Yeah.
When were you going to tell me this?
I thought you knew.
I thought it was you. No, I did not know that actually. I haven't spoken to Pat in many moons or Brian really. You're the only coon, and your mom the other day,
Oh yeah. Yep.
Big Mama Cooney we used to
I was
call her.
talking to her the other day and say, "Hey, you were watching me live the other night." She's like, "Yeah."
That John sure looks tired.
Yep. Oh, he looked exhausted. Well, he was.
He's a tired guy.
Um, but yeah, you know who else grew up there? Well, was born where we grew up, and then actually grew up there at L. Frank Baum. That's where he
Oh,
moved. Was Mattydale.
he moved to Mattydale right after he built the Yellow Brick Road.
Yep. He
Oh,
built the Yellow Brick Road,
that's my mom's favorite movie, by the way. Yeah.
and that how convenient that she lives right in the well. Why she live one town over?
It's weird though. It's like if you have a thing that's your favorite thing, that's the default that like everybody's gonna get you for any special occasion, birthday, wedding, anniversary, Christmas. And my mom eventually is like, please stop getting me
Wizard of Oz thing.
Wizard of Oz stuff. I can't fit it any place.
Yeah.
People still do it though.
Um, I filmed the Wizard of Oz behind this like kind of a making video in our town with my dad back in the spring, and and because his house that he grew up in, L. Frank Baum, is not far from where my parents live, and we ended up finding it, and it just looks like a normal updated house. You would never know that was the house, but the reason why I haven't uploaded it is I need to find because well, you know this because you have a picture of my dad back at the Oz Parade like many, many years ago.
That is him, right?
That is him.
That is
Yeah.
so cool.
But we have VHS movies of the Oz Parade that I want to put in this video so people can see what I'm actually talking about in the video. So,
Fun.
yeah, that was a movie we watched every year when I was a little kid, and now I can't stand it.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've watched it. I still my second favorite movie is a
Bordello
Christmas.
of Blood. Oh,
It's a Christmas movie actually,
oh,
and it's an old ass movie.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah,
That's one
yeah.
of mine too.
And that's like
It
I
was this
never
big.
get sick of it.
I don't
want
either.
A big one.
Yeah, Jimmy Stewart. Yeah, I mean, that movie right there gives me nostalgia, and it gives me the feels, right around Christmas time. There's a certain amount of there's certain movies that I like to watch around that time.
George Bailey, I'll love you till the day I die.
Oh, George Bailey. I wish I was never born.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
Clarence. Um,
Teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
Every time I hear a bell, I usually say that.
Yeah. Yep.
Wait, it said chat disconnected. Successfully reconnected.
Oh no.
Uh,
I need to
I
eat
guess
so
we're
I can
back.
take my back pill. I quote that a lot too. That's from Christmas Vacation.
Christmas Vacation. My favorite growing up was European Vacation, although I haven't seen it in a very long time.
It's so
Big
funny
Bang
that
Parliament. Every time I go around
it's
in a
amazing.
circle.
I can't turn left. He's just laughing at the
Oh,
end.
kids.
Oh gosh.
What were you saying?
Me?
You were just saying something, yeah.
Oh, who
It's
cares?
amazing. No, that was that. You were just saying, guys. What was he saying?
Oh, I was saying like some movies that you rewatch, you're like, oh my god, I can't believe they said that 30 years ago.
Oh my God, yeah. When I recommended like that Monster Squad, yeah, like I'm like, oh yeah, it was like a kids movie. I mean, it is, but like things are a little bit updated now.
It seems weird because when I was a kid, like I could do whatever I wanted within like a 5 mile radius for sure. I'd
Yeah,
jump on my bike and be like, as long as I was back by dark, I had so much freedom. I couldn't imagine if I had kids right now letting them do that.
I didn't. I was the oldest. I was born first. My younger siblings had a lot of freedom, but I didn't. I was always grounded. I was always trying to sneak away. I couldn't go anywhere without like. Finally, I I'm not going to say what happened, but I had to get away. And then after that, my relationship with my parents became like really, really good. But I was like, yeah, strict lock and key, growing up, because I was like the firstborn. The
Yeah, you were the
firstborn.
firstborn.
I was. And they, look, if you've never been a parent, you don't know. Like you're just as clueless as anyone else. So I understand now, but I didn't at the time.
John looks like he's wearing a thermal pajama onesie. Dude, I wish.
I was gonna say that when you first,
I wish.
thought the
Although
same thing.
I am wearing these festive pants that Dan Kerrigan
Oh,
gave me. I wear these underneath my work clothes at the farm because they keep me warm.
okay,
But they're
yeah.
Christmassy. I've got those ding 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 a ling a ling ding ding a ling doos. Sorry.
Oh my God.
Chris, grow up.
Oh. You almost burned your mac and cheese in the oven. Don't do that. Although a little crunchy mac and cheese never hurt me. I always like that. I like to scorch the top a little bit.
And then the thing about hot cheese is you get it in there and once it touches the surface of whatever you don't want it to touch, it sticks to it. It sticks to the top of your mouth and you're like, "Oh, oh,
Yeah.
oh."
You're just like me. You cannot wait. Like, you can't wait for something to cool off. It's like,
Yeah. And you're like, you know what? Let me lick this hot lava cheese off the roof of my mouth with my tongue. And you're like, oh. So then
and then
your tongue gets glued to the top of your mouth with the hot cheese. And it's just,
you burn your tongue, and then it's like for the next couple days, you can't taste it. It's like, hurts the roof of your mouth. The worst thing, well, not the worst, but one of the funniest, painful things I did when I was 19, I moved to Florida, Sarasota, and I worked at I was working at Pizza Hut at the time. Um, you had to there was no vegan restaurants back then, and I would make when it was my lunch break, I would very meticulously very like clean up everything, clean up all the utensils, clean everything, and then make myself of something vegan, because you couldn't just go in there and buy something vegan, but you could mix and match if you worked there. So that's what I did, and I made mine. I took two little mini thin crusts, and I made like a stuffed pizza. So I put a bunch of, obviously there was no cheese back then. This is 1995, and I put a bunch of veggies in there and stuff like that. And I put them together with sauce and everything. Now, the only sauce that was vegan, like none of the red sauces in there that went on the pizzas were vegan, but apparently at the time they also were serving spaghetti and meatballs, and the spaghetti sauce was vegan. So I would take that sauce, a certain crust, and I put it all together. Anyways, I made a vegan little stuffed crust pizza. As it came through, I cut it all, and I didn't wait for it to cool off, and I bit into it, and it dripped down my cheek. And there's a picture of me. I have short buzz cut, bleach blonde hair, and I have a red mark going down my cheek. And I just said like, oh, I'm a vampire. It's the blood coming down. But there's a picture of me like, because I didn't want to wait, and it burned my whole cheek off my
good for
body.
you. Good
Yeah,
for you, buddy.
yeah.
That's some dedication to your food.
That was like 26 years ago. Wow.
Speaking of pizza before cheese, I remember going to Little Caesars, but your brother Pat and some friends. I don't think Brian went the first year, but we went up to Mount Snow in Vermont, and I remember we were able to get the Little Caesars pizza. I don't think Pat was vegan at the time. Maybe he was though.
That's the mountain, by the way, the Mount Snow. That's the one that I almost died on, that I told that story.
You went on? Oh, really?
I thought it was Mount Snowy. They're two different ones. If it's either Mount Snowy or Mount Snow, but that's the one. It's like
Yeah,
the
Mount Snow is in Vermont,
Okay, so
and
anyway,
Killington. Mount Snow is the one that we stayed at this condo for like a week. Dude, it was a lot of fun for a bunch of college kids. We'd snowboard all day, we'd party all night. I was straight edge, so I just hung out at night. But
my brother was with you or no?
yeah, he was not straight edge.
Which one?
Pat.
Pat, yeah.
Brian did go, but he went 2 years later. A lot of fun. And many fun times were had with your brothers.
I know.
Not you so much.
No, we don't have fun.
Yeah, yeah. I was always asleep when you were doing all the fun stuff. Like Rob would always Rob, Tim, all you guys would hang out all night long, but I'd have to go work at the farm, so I just hang out
Picking
till like
potatoes.
yeah. I'm like, dude, it's 10 o'clock. I got to get up early. John,
I've got videos of all of it.
I know.
I wonder if I can find. I think I did find a video of you when you were like way before I was hanging out with you. When you were hanging out with my brother, when you were probably like in like 6th grade or something.
Oh, with the I had like a basketball jersey on.
Yeah. From
well,
that picture of you going like this or something.
Yeah.
But I think there's a movie of it from the VHS tapes.
Chris, are you a fun guy?
Are you a fun guy? Like a mushroom?
Yeah. If you had to be a fun guy, which one would you be? A portobello, a shiitake?
I'd probably be a Mario.
Beep beep bada beep.
The Tanuki suit. Oh, I like the Tanuki suit. You turn into a stone statue.
Oh yeah, it was fun.
And then was it the raccoon that could fly?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
I like that suit. I
Some
wish I had that suit. Would you run around in a raccoon suit if you could fly? I would.
The thing is, I don't understand.
Okay.
Why do you have a raccoon tail and that's what makes you fly?
I don't know.
Mario, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yep. Deviant has arrived. Welcome, Deviant. Strong Hearts tomorrow? You're going to Strong Hearts tomorrow? I got other plans tomorrow. I won't be there.
I won't be there. I'll be in
And
my
even if I was at that point, I probably wouldn't be able to eat anything. I'd probably
yeah.
be too full. Oh, the other place that I was going to say, back to Ithaca. Have you been to Howie, the Ethiopian place?
No, but I've heard great things about it.
It's super duper good.
Yeah, you've been.
Oh yeah, I've been. And I will say this, it's so good, but here's the one thing about it. So Ethiopian food is probably one of my absolute favorite foods. But see, when it comes out, it's like, at first it doesn't look like there's that much food. And you're like, why is there not that much food? Am I going to have to go somewhere else and eat after this? But then you start eating it, and you eat it with the injera, the bread. And then you start eating it, you're almost done, and then you realize that the bread is expanding in your stomach as you ate it all, and then you feel more full than you've ever felt in your life. You never want to eat again, and you're like, I just want to die. And then there you go. You got to be careful because you can become way too full with that food because it is so delicious.
Have you been to the place in Syracuse yet?
Yeah, I have been there.
If you had to compare the two, do you like one better than the other?
I haven't been to them in a while, and if I remember right, I think they're pretty much the same. There was another one it was kind of different though. The one out in Rochester is a little bit different. It is Ethiopian. It's
I've been to that one with you before.
Nature's Oasis or Natural Oasis.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't. I used to go there when I lived in Rochester, but I think it's a little bit different than the one I'm talking about. These two. So go to either one of those sometime. Get the vegetarian plate, which is vegan, and you won't regret it. You will love it.
I miss Ithaca. That's the hardest part of me living out here is
Ithaca's gorgeous. Is that why?
It's gorgeous. It's also 2 hours and 15 minutes away. So honestly,
you would go there a different way, right? You wouldn't come back through Syracuse to go there. You'd go down further.
So I will take the throughway at 41, and
Oh
I'll go
wow.
down that way. Yeah, yeah. There's no easy route to Ithaca. So if there's an animal emergency, it sucks. Like
Do you have to go there?
I had to take Finch down there at freaking uh midnight once. I left the farm at midnight. No, I'm sorry. I left the farm at 11, and then I got home at like 5 in the morning after taking Finch back. Oh my God. And it's so animal emergencies are not easy because like you've got an animal in the back and something's wrong with them. So you're like, poor Finch had something wrong with his jaw. And just like the dynamic when something's wrong with an animal, they know and they're like, oh, something's not right. What's happening? Where are you taking me? And you're like, it's okay, buddy. And he
Yeah,
like
that's
fell off the seat because I used the Jeep. And anyway, that was just a side story. But the point is, it's 2 hours and 15 minutes away. So like a lot of my favorite food is down there. My favorite hiking spots are down there. And until I make friends here in Rochester, it's going to be hard for Kristen and I to like leave our animals at the house, drive someplace, and come back without them, being able to go outside and stuff.
that's having like a vet that far away, especially if the animal's like in pain and stuff. That
Oh,
sucks.
yeah,
And you
yeah.
probably have to drive extra slow if you have like a big trailer on the back.
So luckily,
Like
knock
if you
on
had like
wood,
one of if you had Sophie or something,
yeah, we had to
you can't
take
put that in the back seat.
we had to take Aldo to Cornell, and Janelle and I actually had to ride in the trailer. Andy, one of the volunteers, drove the truck. That was tough because we knew that was a bad situation. She was such a good girl, but we just knew that it wasn't going to be the outcome. It was a scare, dude. It's just like having a bunch of dogs, man. It's like having a bunch of indies. You care so much about every single one of them that when
Yeah.
something's not right, you're like, oh. But like, I changed my way of thinking a lot in this past year, where it's like I feel like I have this fatherly aspect with the dogs here, but with the farm, it's a little bit different. I'm almost like, hi, I'm John. I'll be bringing you food and water every day until the day you die. It's almost like they're my friends, and it's hard to explain. I don't know if I'm making any sense. I try to protect myself because I
Right.
know that I'm going to keep bringing animals in and trying to tell their stories to spread veganism and everything. But at the same time, they're going to outlive me. And that sticks in your head a lot during those animal emergencies. You're like, is this the last time? Is this goodbye?
Did you say
And
that wrong? You said they're gonna outlive you.
I'm going to outlive them. I mean,
Okay,
maybe,
because I
I'm
was
sure
like, wait.
some of them are going to outlive me, but
You every
hopefully,
time you say goodbye, goodbye to all of you. I'm like, what?
you know what? Sometimes I like to play a game like when I'm with certain animals, and I'm like, if I were to die in front of this animal, how long until they try to eat me? And I would feel like if it were the cats, it would probably be like a couple hours.
Yeah.
Is that
That
if I don't know if the farm animals would eat me? Probably just nose me around and not.
they'd probably
I'm the
protect
type
you.
of food you'd play with and not eat. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
unless you have a tortoise. There's like a 300-year-old tortoise.
Yeah.
Back to Deviant wanted to know where this Ethiopian place is in Syracuse. It's called Eritrea. Eritrea. I can't even pronounce it. But anyway, it's near St. Joe's. It's on State Street.
Oh wow, I didn't even know. I was for
That's the
some
one that
reason.
I went to. I went with Sean from the running team.
Yep. Not Sean from Chittenango, but the same name.
Right. Right. Yep.
The exact same name is what I'm saying.
Exact.
First and last,
Yeah.
not middle.
Yeah.
Is the middle name different? Let's call them.
I don't know. I haven't talked. I mean, I don't think he's on social media anymore, but I haven't seen him, heard from him in years. But
Sophie licked me in the eyeball today too, by the way.
what didn't she do that the other day too? Yeah, in one of your
Yeah, yeah.
Insta.
She
Yeah,
side licked me. This time I was like down by her nose and her tongue just went boop.
she's got a long tongue.
She has a long sandpaper tongue.
Do you
Do you-
foster any carnivorous animals, John?
Yeah, we have two cats. 2 cats. I did try to I tried to put them on the vegan diet, and unfortunately, Muffin, it did not work. You have to be really careful with cats. I think Kitty it would have worked, but it didn't work with Muffin. Other than
She wouldn't eat it.
no, she would eat it, but they would throw it up.
Ooh.
Yeah, and you just have to be careful. You know what else though? Chickens are they are like worm murderers. They find worm anywhere. I once seen a chicken dive its beak down 10 feet to grab a worm, Chris.
It's like a T-Rex. It's like a little feathery
It's like a
T-Rex.
tremor.
Tremor, yeah. Was that Kevin Bacon?
Yeah. Yes. Yep. It sure as heck was. Everybody knows Kevin Bacon. Except for me. I've never met him. I wouldn't want to. He looks like he'd be a dick.
No, he actually doesn't.
Oh.
I thought
Well,
he'd
I
be
think
like a cool dude. I mean, he's got a band. He goes out and
he
does
looks like
band
he
stuff.
looks like his farts smell, though.
Oh man.
You know, like he's definitely the kind of guy that did it, but is denying it all the way. But you can tell because his face is getting red and he's sweating a little bit. That's the kind of guy that Kevin Bacon is in my eyes.
Do you remember? Do you know his first movie? I think his first movie,
No, I don't.
Friday the 13th.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he gets killed.
I was gonna be like
Spoiler.
Footloose.
No, way before that. And Johnny Depp's first movie. Do you know that?
Freddy.
Yep. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Freddy got fingered.
No, wrong movie.
Oh. One time Kevin Bacon was invisible and he grabbed somebody's boob in the movie, and I thought that was a little racy. If you're invisible,
Invisible
that's the
Man.
first thing you're gonna do.
Oh, let me tell you. Go ahead, because I just
No,
interrupted
that
you.
was it. That was it. That was spoiler.
Okay,
alert.
so I was telling people because I was excited to watch this movie called The Night House, which was filmed here in Syracuse, and I was in it. I was in 2 scenes. One of the scenes, I'm in a bar, like literally right next to the table with the main actors, and another scene, I'm literally the closest person to the camera. It's right by my face as it kind of like pans beyond my face to like a bride and groom. And so I'm like, okay, so I'm in 2 scenes of this movie. I don't know what the movie's about. I hear it's a scary movie. The director is forget his first name, but Bruckner. He did VHS, The Ritual, and some other scary movies. And I was actually talking to him the whole time that I was filming that scene by the wedding people. So I finally saw it on this app that I stream, and I'm like, okay. So I wanted to play it for movie night and everything so we could all see the scenes that I was in. So I start skimming through the video, because it's like 2 hours long. I skim through the whole thing. I find the 2 scenes that I'm in, and they totally cut me out of both of them. The last movie I was in, they cut me out of that one too. So like, I've been in a bunch of movies that they just cut me out of. I guess.
They're like, do you want to know why? They're like, this guy needs to be main screen kind of shit, not like you can't be just showing him for a second.
They can't,
That's Jared Leto. You need to be focusing on the main characters, not Jared
so they
Leto.
wanted to take. They didn't want me to take the attention off.
Exactly,
of them.
Chris.
Gotcha.
That's what I think.
So I kind of don't want to see the movie now that they did that to me.
Yeah.
I mean, what the heck? Do you know that was down there for like 13 hours just sitting around? Oh my god. Okay, so at the very beginning, there's this. I can't tell if it's me or not, but it's like I don't know if they reshot the scene, but she's watching a movie, and that movie is the scene that I'm in. And I can't tell if it's me, but even if it is me, you can't tell it's me. Kind of like The Interpreter, you can't tell it's me in that movie either. Although I'm standing right next to Nicole Kidman.
Did you say anything to her?
No, because they said don't talk to the actress. So I'm just like, oh my god, that's Nicole Kidman. She's literally standing right next to me.
I get too excited like whenever I'm around people that I admire. Like
I get so
my voice gets too loud.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, they're like, yeah, I'm like, oh my god, dude, I'm hanging out with the drummer from Circus Survive. I'm in his house right now.
And then you need a Snickers. They give you a Snickers or a gigantic.
Yeah, and I was like, why wait? And all they did was ask me a question about something, and I just talked really loud, and somebody kind of laughed at me. So they knew. They're like,
You get all awkward.
John's fangirling over there. Stop fangirling, John.
Elizabeth Shue. Why are we talking about that? Keep on going with the movie. Oh,
I
movie
think that was
trivia.
the guy that isn't that the one person that Kevin Bacon grabbed in Invisible Man.
Oh, that's who he grabbed.
Hey, another good Kevin Bacon movie, Stir of
Flatliners.
Echoes. Stir of Echoes.
Yeah.
You ever see it?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't like it?
It's all right.
Oh, well, you know what, dude?
Did you see Flatliners though?
No.
You got to see that. That's a classic. He's in that too.
Sports Star 2000? Are you talking about the place where they used to have
Oh my
shows?
God,
How
I've been
does
there.
anybody else know what that is?
Yeah, it's on Taft Road, or it was.
Dude, I used to go to shows there back in the day. Brian,
How
your
come
brother
we
and I.
can't remember? Neither one of us can, and Jay didn't remember it either. What was the place called that later on did like Hellfest after the Lost Horizon that was on Bridge Street? It was a big building on Bridge Street.
They called it the Bridge Street Water Hall, Bridge Street Music Hall.
No, it was something else though at one point.
Oh,
Bridge Street Music Hall.
It wasn't Skylene's. That was
No.
like 505.
No, it was
right?
that big. And I remember that was when. Oh, what happened?
Did something happen to me?
Yeah, your video's gone.
Oh, my phone's probably dead, dude.
Ooh.
Oh, pal.
Uh-oh.
You know what?
Is it? You were doing this through your phone?
That's how my camera works. Maybe I can just listen to the sound of my voice.
Okay, yeah.
Someone's in the house, Chris.
Uh-oh. Get your cats for protection, or your dogs.
Hide your cats. Hide your dogs. Hide your cats.
Oh, that gives me a funny story to tell, but I feel like I can't tell it.
Why? Just because I'm not there?
Yeah.
I'm still listening. I'm trying to plug my phone in.
Maybe I have a picture of you that I could put up. Okay, so whenever there's a noise at the house, Indy goes crazy. Like, loudest bark you ever want to hear. Bark, bark. And I'm like, stop it. There's nobody here. He won't stop. But then, when there's a noise that is, like, actually creepy, that I even get up, like if the UPS or Amazon or FedEx is here, or the mailman, he goes crazy. But, like, the other night, I was sitting downstairs on the couch, and then I heard this big loud bang coming from my garage. And I got up and I looked, and then instead of barking like a crazy guard dog that he is, he looks right over to me and he's like, "Oh my God, what was that? Is this isn't a test. This is real." And I get up and I'm like, I kind of like snoop over to the garage door, and he's like, him and Zeke are both like, "This is for real. We really got to be quiet right now, guys." And they're looking at me, and it's like we're all like a team and everything. And I open the door and I look out there, and one of the it's actually like this old crate thing fell over, and there's no way it could have fallen over by itself. So I'm thinking there was an animal in the garage, maybe a squirrel or something, but I don't know. So they came out there with me. They looked around. I'm like, "All right, guys, are we good?" They're like, "Yep, we're good." And then we all went back in. But just seeing Indy's face when he looked over at me, he gave me that look. Like that.
Oh, jeez.
That meme, that woodchuck or whatever.
Yeah, and it zoomed in on his face.
Yeah, that was Indy. What'd you say G's for?
I can't get my phone to charge, so I'm gonna
That's
bounce.
okay.
It's 9:41, Chris.
Yeah, we weren't supposed to be on that long, but I mean, sometimes when we chat, it just
Sometimes we just get caught in the moment of Chris and John.
So thanks again, guys. Again, if you didn't see our latest video that we posted, I linked it up top. It's an old video that I found in my archives from 9 years ago, 2012. It's one of our original vegan zombie style videos. So go check it out. It's funny. We got some bloopers at the end. It's got Indy when he's only like a year old. And it's a pretty good recipe from what I remember. So everybody have a great night, great holiday, and go vegan and watch out for zombies. I'll see you guys next time.
Bye.